Boys and girls of the shaft! Oh boy, wildcard. I mean, grape shot really did it this time. They really pissed off everyone. But before we get into how they managed to make an entire community mad at them, let's have a look at the new updates coming to Atlas in March. Now, they really wanted to show the community their dedication to making this game brilliant and that they won't up and ditch their newest game just because it's struggling. Like, really struggling, like no one plays it. So they put forward their Atlas March milestone map. This includes 3 primary milestones and 10 secondary milestones, which are world redesign, claim revamp, and a new war system. These are the primary focuses of Grape Shot right now, but followed by the Ship of the Damned, Guillotine, Submarine, Player Shops, Quality of Life Improvements, Vitamin Rebalance. I personally think you should just delete it. Literally no one ever has played a video game and been like, man, you know, I really wish I had to manage my frickin' vitamin D. Delete it. Just get it out of the game. We also have the Giant Crab, Bug Squashing, Curses, and Cosmetics. So how about the details? Let's dig a little bit deeper now. First of all, let's start with their world redesign. Oh man. Look, I may hate on these devs a lot, but I will admit they actually did manage to make the environments look pretty dang cool, especially the Eastern Tundra, now covered in pink trees with a huge statue carved into stone. They did state that all of the world will be including more lore as well. So if you're curious about the backstory of this Eastern Tundra, well, there's gonna be some more story to dig into. I'm honestly still not even sure what the hell is even going on in Atlas. Okay. Sure, they made the game look pretty, but we get a friggin' submarine, dude! It may look clunky, kinda ugly, and honestly made just to be a PvE vehicle, but it's a submarine! Now, this vehicle is used to explore underwater with your crewmates. It does have temperature controls inside, so you will not freeze or overheat. Honestly, this is getting a lot of hate for not fitting in with the pirate theme, but they did state from the beginning it isn't just pirates. I mean, we have all of these mythical creatures and all this other stuff, right? So I don't think a submarine is too much of a stretch. This isn't made for destroying entire islands with nuclear missiles. This is just made for exploring the trenches. You heard me right, the trenches. We're gonna be getting a new biome under the sea. So move your tail, Ariel. We'll be exploring right through their coral-filled, lava-infested, extremely low FPS trenches. Now, the trenches are meant to be very filled with lore information. As we can see from the footage, there are lots of undersea structures and mysteries to find. Now, there will be 1 trench per Golden Age server. So, cool, I guess? Continuing with our talk about the trenches, within the trenches, we're gonna find a new, terrifying creature. The Carcanos! The fierce crab from Ark! I'm just kidding. Don't worry, guys. I'm sure it's not gonna be another reskin. Or is it? The devs did admit that it's gonna have the same abilities, so yeah, it's probably another reskin. So not much to tell you there. If you wanna know more about what the crab is gonna be like, just go look at our Carcanos videos that we've already made. That'll tell you everything you need to know. Oh, wow, guys, this next one even has me all hot and bothered. The guillotine. Oh, I've waited for this for so long. We had it with Reign of Kings, Executions, but that game's dead now, and we don't have any way to harass people we don't like. But finally, the guillotine! Yes, we've covered it before, but today we actually got to see it in action after Alex finally got into it. Like, seriously, Alex, pick up your game. You're so slow. In all honesty, the animation for beheading is really good. From an outside perspective, it comes off clean and covered in blood. It is just a good animation. Now, the only issue so far is it looks like the person has to willingly get into the guillotine, which is stupid. But once the person loses their head, you can pick it up and place it on a spike for decoration. Brutal. Or throw it. Jesse, the co-founder of Atlas, was way too happy that you could throw this thing. I mean, look at that face. Honestly, I have pretty much the same face about that one because this is great. We need like a stockade next so that I can manually slice people's heads off with an executioner axe. Oh, what's that? A skin? A skin? We got more skins? Well, no, not really. It's just an update on the skins we covered in the last dev stream. I would go more in depth on them if there was something to actually say. All I have to say is cool. Next up, we have the grappling hook. Yes, the grappling hook. Now, I know this sounds strange, but I think I'm in love with the grappling hook physics. Now, instead of just climbing up walls, you'll be able to swing side to side like a pendulum. You can do this from buildings, trees, boats, mountains, whatever. This really does look awesome and should make raiding other people's boats much more fun. That's if people can ever get on the sea because of the ships of the damned, or should I say because of the damned ships of the damned, which they've cleaned up, kind of. Honestly, they look like weird spiky rocks that will destroy you, but yeah, more ships of the damned that travel in squads. They tried to say it is all okay because they reduced the aggroing distance, but really? Is it really? There is nothing worse than crossing into a new grid with 10 of these boys waiting. Now there's more, and they get bigger and more dangerous? Oh, they also made the flag look pretty. That's cool. Ah, yes! It's time! Claim revamp and war system rework. I will only be listing the most important parts mentioned. No frilly stuff, okay? We get to the point. Let's do this rapid fire mode. Let's start with the rules. Players can now build anywhere without owning a settlement. A settlement is now what a claimed island is called. Only one claim flag can be placed per island. Islands will be given rank based on their location, size, and how valuable they are. This will determine upkeeping costs. Structures that are built on islands that are not settlements can be raided at any moment. Yikes! Islands can now be named. That's a cool one, I guess. Totally not abusable, as we've already seen with the little pop-up message that you can enable. Now for company updates. NPC crew no longer count towards the tame limit whilst seated. Companies can now only have 250 members. Alliances can only have a maximum of 4 companies, as well as a company can only be in 2 alliances at a time. Oh no. Here's the dreaded one. Claim flags now have an upkeep cost, which is paid from the tax bank in the form of resources. Now remember, your tax will depend on how big the island is and how many players are on there. Whew. This is a lot of updates, but bear with me, we aren't done yet. Settlements. Settlement owners must set a window of vulnerability, which is 9 hours long to open their island up to be raided. 9 hours? You gotta treat this freaking game like it's more than a full-time job. Like a full-time job, and you have a boss who every time you're trying to walk out the door is like, hold on a minute, I need you to do this extra thing, and it winds up taking an hour. Cool, dude. But don't worry, there will be a timer on players before they receive invulnerability status. Okay, devs, I hope you know what you're doing here. War. War has changed us all, but war has also changed on Atlas. Players can now purchase a war token, which will cost a lot, but it can be used to declare war on any island. When a war is declared on an island, players must schedule a time to fight in the future. Only one war can be scheduled at once, and there is a cooldown. This next one will definitely have you chuckling. Atlas will be receiving a notification system, just like the little pager you have when your boss calls you because like he needs something that's only going to take a minute, but it's going to take another hour, and now you've worked 10 hours, so you got to treat Atlas like it's an actual job. Okay. Anyway, so you can sign up for email notifications about what's happening on your server, which is cool, but really, I think this may be taking it a step too far. I mean, it's cool and all, like it's great, and it's a good idea, but what are the official PvP players going to do if they're allowed to actually log out of the game? Ever thought about that? That's kind of weird. Like, I don't know that they'll be able to cope. What if they go outside? I don't know. I don't think they were ever taught how to like cross a street. They might get hit by a car. If you remember earlier in this video, I said that grape shot managed to make everyone so angry. Well, I wasn't lying. This isn't some big old pile of thick bait. They openly stated that at the end of March, official servers on Atlas will be wiped. Uh-oh. Yep, that's right. All those hundreds of hours are gonna be gone. Poof. Now, this isn't just a wipe of resources and structures, this is also a full-on character wipe. So yes, you will be set back to 0 on this incredibly grindy game. Just like a normal MMO would do, right? You know, because this is apparently an MMO. You know, they wipe their player base's characters back to 0 all the time. So why are the devs doing this to us? Well, honestly, it makes sense. The game had a rocky start with a lot of bugs and issues, including duping. There have been so many bug fixes and updates to the game that it just isn't fair anymore. Lots of players have been able to abuse exploits, and if you really want the game to work well, then it has to be reset. I can understand why people are screaming and crying because, you know, they're official players and now they don't know what to do with their lives for a little while. But what did you expect when you broke the game? Of course it was going to happen. No matter what. It was unavoidable. You made your decision. Now, one thing I am not so sure I agree with is that the devs announced this just a month beforehand. The last thing you really want to do with your game is announce that all your progress for the next month will be useless. This is begging to kill your game. But maybe, just maybe, the Twitch chat may have saved it by begging for higher rates to wipe. But will that really be enough? What do you think? I think so. Give it like 10x rates so people can just get on and screw around, you know? But don't worry, boys and girls. If you played before the wipe, it's not all for naught. You didn't totally waste your time because guess what? We're gonna give you a sort of consolation reward in the form of a cool new skin, man! A really ugly hat! Woohoo! Awesome! It's really ugly. Cool. That about covers it for this video. Make sure you tell me what you think about this official server wipe in the comments below. I am really curious to know what you all think. I will see you in the next video.